What it do? Bedtime crew. Hey man, listen, today I am here to sort something out. Okay, guys. Now, obviously, I am very sick. I apologize in advance, but I saw Lucas Dutracy. I saw Kenny Okoye, whatever that guy's name is. All these guys, they're talking about their top 10 strikers in the UFC. I'm hearing Lucas Tracy had Steve Erceg over Israel Adesanya. I'm hearing Kenny Okoye had fucking Petr Yan as number one on his list. I'm here to give you guys the real top 10 strikers in the UFC. You know, you guys are probably waiting for some real factual information, fact checked by a true American patriot. And that's what I'm here to do today. All right. I'm going to give you the real top 10 strikers in the UFC. All right, man. My criteria, before you go in the comments and you're like, well, actually, you said this. Listen, bro. It's eye test. All right. Who physically looks like they are the best striker? Like, who's had the best performances? Who have they actually beat on their resume? Have they been outstruck? Who have they KO'd? Who have they been KO'd by? Okay. If you stop trying to find every single sentence like it's a legal fucking document, you will understand that I am cooking. All right, bro? Let's get into this. Number 10, Ciryl Gane. Now, listen, guys. You know that I like to make fun of Ciryl Gane. Mr. Paw Patrol himself. This guy's fucking filming movie scenes instead of getting in the cage and fighting. This guy turned down a title shot to film Paw Patrol in France. But now he's fighting Volkov. And I feel like a lot of people really disrespect Ciryl Gane. I'm going to say he is the 10th best striker in the UFC. He is fighting absolute blobs, so I'm not going to put him any higher. Like, he's at heavyweight. I can't put him any higher. But he's schooled all the blobs that they've thrown at him. Like, Dana White has thrown every single Apex blob at this guy. And he's shutting him down, dude. He's beating Alexander Volkov. Very impressive win. It's aging very well. And people literally forget. People forget, man. People literally forget that they already fought. People are talking about this second matchup being like, oh, dude, Gane is cooked. Bro, he already schooled Volkov. But regardless, on top of that, he turned Ngannou into a wrestler. I know people that were picking this guy to beat John Jones. So to act like Ciryl Gane is not one of the best strikers in the UFC, I feel like that's fucking ridiculous, dude. That's delusional like you're Anthony Smith. Trust. All right, dude. The only reason he's not higher, he got dropped by fucking Tuivasa. Let's be real here, dude. Let's be real, bro. You're cooked. All right, but he's number 10. Let's move on to number 9 on my list. And listen, bro, I'm going to say Stephen Wonderboy Thompson is number 9. Great performances that come to mind off the top of my head. The TKO of Kevin Holland. That fight that he had against Jorge Masvidal. Super necessary, dude. Completely necessary. Had that beatdown of Masvidal at MSG. Beatdown Luque at MSG. I feel like he's about to do the same to Buckley at MSG. He's had some great performances. You know, he went life and death with Darren Till. He got KO'd by fucking Anthony Pettis. And he's a little bit chinny now. He's definitely, based on his performances, obviously, if you want to go back in the old head, like 90s textbook, he did beat Robert Whittaker as well. But, I'm not going to talk about shit from the fucking Venom logo era. You know what I'm saying, dude? I think Stephen Thompson at 9 makes a lot of sense. And I'm going to just say right now, number 8 is MVP. The reason MVP is just above Wonderboy is if they fought, I would pick MVP to. I feel like that's fair. I feel like that is fair to say that I think MVP would beat Wonderboy. I think he has a little bit more power in his shots. He is also a technically great striker. Like, Wonderboy has all of these skills, but MVP has them as well, except he has power. Like, people do not want to fuck with MVP. This guy turned Ian Gary into Pantoja. Yeah, this guy pissed Kevin Holland off so bad that he accepted that he's Neil Magny 2.0. That's tough. That's tough, bro. Yeah, I think MVP is a nasty, nasty striker. Doesn't really get the finishes in the UFC that he was getting in Bellator, go figure. But, I mean, when you look at the way this guy fights, dude, his boxing, his range control, his calf kicks, all this stuff, the way that he can counter people, like I said, I feel like it's a pretty indicative moment that he turned Ian Gary into literally Alejandro Pantoja. Like, that guy deadass threw 3 fucking strikes in round 1 off of MVP. I'm not hating on Ian Gary for wrestling in an MMA fight. I'm glazing MVP for turning that dude into a wrestler. So yeah, shout out to MVP. He made Ian Gary reveal his true self by pulling guard. Like, dude, let me just say, if you ever pull guard in a fucking MMA fight, you deserve everything that Ian Gary's got coming when he fights sharp guard, dude. I'm gonna be real. But yeah, let's move on to number 7 on my list. And boys, maybe the first controversial entry. I don't know. Some of you guys get so fucking offended over any take, but listen, dude. Number 7, I'm gonna put Izzy, bro. I'm putting Izzy at 7, dude. The glaze is wearing off. I'm not gonna lie. Every couple of years, I feel, or not every couple of years, but every couple of months, I'll say this. Every couple of months, people like to reshine the glaze on Izzy, dude. They reshine the fucking glaze on Izzy. They go, dude, Izzy's the best pure striker at middleweight. People forget. You almost have forgot. Like, people be gaslighting you into thinking this dude's just this OP fucking striker, dude. They repost the Pereira knockout. They repost the Costa performance. Dude, still one of the cleanest performances of all time. True. But, I mean, this guy's boxing has always been kind of not up to standard when you rewatch a lot of his performances, you know? People will show that clip of him dodging the punches from Vettori. In that clip, he literally lands 0 punches on Vettori himself. They just both dodge each other's shit. So, I feel like Izzy gets a lot of, like I said, glaze, like that. This guy's not going to be around forever, man. You got to appreciate him while he's here. Okay, but can we just be real that he got completely fucking schooled by Sean Strickland and Jan Blachowicz and got KO'd by Pereira, who only had like 4 fights in the UFC? You're supposed to win that fight. I'm not going to lie. They were setting him up to lose to Izzy. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, I mean, I have to give him credit for KOing Robert Whittaker. The knockout of Pereira and the rematch as well timed him perfectly, brought him into that right hand. KOing Paulo Costa the way that he did as well. Very impressive performance. I think Israel Adesanya deserves his credit, but I don't think he deserves to be super glazed the way that some people. I know Kenny Okoye is doing fucking flips and going crazy on it, but let's be real here, dude. He's number 7. All right, let's move on to number 6 on my list, dude. And boys, Petr Yan, he's fucking back. Look at this little fucking gremlin. This guy's a complete menace to society. And I just want to give him some credit for being one of the best strikers in the UFC as well. The war that he had with O'Malley, he's rocking O'Malley. I'm like, nobody does. I feel like Joe Rogan. Oh my God. I'm going to be real, dude. Joe Rogan yaps, but all the things he says, you have to say them at least once. Like, I just have to be real. Nobody does that to Sean O'Malley. Nobody does that to O'Malley. Nobody does that to Corey Sandhagen. Nobody outboxes Jose Aldo. But Petr Yan did all of those things. He was rocking Sean O'Malley. He beat Jose Aldo in one of the a really, really great fight for that bantamweight title. Beating Corey Sandhagen, striking. This guy's on a technical level one of the best boxers in the UFC. Maybe the best pure boxer in the UFC. Great body kicks as well. This is where eye test kind of comes into it as well. But the reason he's not in my top 5, I know Kenny Okoye had him in fucking number 1. I'm pretty sure Lucas Tracy had this guy number 3 or some shit. I don't know, dude. I don't really watch these videos, but I'm going to be real. He did have to wrestle against O'Malley. He did get outstruck at moments by Aljo and by Song Yadong. I'm not going to ignore that just because of his highlight reel. Like, he did get outstruck by Aljo in round 1 of their fight. Both of their fights, excuse me. He was getting outstruck at points by Aljo. He was getting outstruck in round 1 by Song Yadong. Don't lie, bro. At the end of round 1 of Song Yadong and Petr Yan, a lot of you motherfuckers were like, bro, it's over for Yan, bro. He's going to 1 championship. It's over, bro. I remember so many people messaging me after round 1, dude, Yan is cooked. Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? So let's be fucking real here. Petr Yan at 6, I think that makes a lot of sense. Now we're getting to the top 5. This is where it gets juicy. Where it gets really, toxic, I guess. This is where it gets interesting with a lot of people's opinions. Coming in at number 5 on my list, I'm the top guy, I think Volk at number 5, that makes a lot of sense, If you don't agree, it is what it is, but, stand up for yourself in the comments, I'm putting Volk at 5. I think people forget, man. Listen, I don't give a fuck that he got knocked out by Makhachev, that he got knocked out by Topuria, right? That's why he's not near the top anymore. He's down at number 5. But I'm not going to forget the absolute masterclass this guy put on Max Holloway. I'm not going to let the streets forget about that 50-45 on Max Holloway, bro. I'm not going to forget the fact that this man outstruck Jose Aldo before he was in his prime. This was like pre-championship Volk. He outstruck Jose Aldo. People do not even remember the fact that they fought each other, right? Rocked Yair Rodriguez striking. I just think Volkanovski, the way that he mixes up leg kicks, his boxing, his defense before he got chinned by both of these fucking goofy goobers. Volkanovski's one of the best strikers in UFC history. There was a point in time that dead set, even when Izzy beat Pereira, I still think Alexander Volkanovski was the best striker in the UFC at that point. And the fact that this guy came into the UFC as a wrestler makes his resume and his performances even more impressive. Yeah, I feel like you'd be hard-pressed to find somebody that doesn't have Volkanovski, like, genuinely in their top 5 or at least top 7 strikers in the UFC, because even in his losses, it's not like he got completely fucking schooled by Islam. It's not like Topuria just demolished him 10-8 every round. Like, they had a competitive fight and then he got knocked out. So I think that puts those guys above him. I'm spoilers, but I think he still belongs in the top 5. So yeah, let's put Volk in top 5. Moving on, number 4. Fuck's sake, dude. Ilia Topuria. Yeah, you can be a top 4, dude. You're number 4, bro. Okay, I'll put this fucking... I'm sick of this guy, bro. I'm sick of this fucking guy already. He hasn't even defended his belt, and I feel like he's been champion for 2 years. I'm sick of this guy's shit. But I will say, the knockout Volkanovski, you know, the masterclass performance that he had against Josh Emmett, some of the knockouts that he got on his way up in the UFC, very, very impressive. Like I said, he's up there in the conversation with Petr Yan and JDM as some of the best boxers in the UFC. This guy is nasty with his striking. He's got decent calf kicks as well. People don't really talk about that. I think that was a big factor against Volk. That kind of mixed things up for him. But yeah, I think Ilia Topuria definitely deserves to be top 4 for knocking out Volkanovski. Pressuring him the way that he did, walking him into big shots against the fence. The only reason I'm not going to put him in my top 3 is because, you know, he's been dropped by Jai Herbert. You know, he's had to rely on his grappling in a couple of matchups to get the win. And I think if you were to take away weight classes and you were talking about this in like a pound for pound sense, if Ilia Topuria was fighting Sean O'Malley and they were the same size, if he was fighting, you know, Islam Makhachev or Alex Pereira and they were like the same size, I think he would try to grapple with Pereira and O'Malley. And I think he would just get outstruck by Islam. So that's why he's not in my top 3. But yeah, I think Ilia Topuria being number 4, that's pretty fair. Because that performance against Volk is pretty legendary. And man, if he beats Max Holloway, I know I've been talking about it like I'm going to end my channel and, you know, don't come to school on Monday if he beats Max Holloway. That's still true, dude. I'm still deleting my channel and going bedtime NBA if that happens, dude. But all jokes aside, if Ilia Topuria manages to outstrike Max Holloway, knock him out, yeah, he would definitely belong top 3. But right now, I think number 4 is where he's at. Let's move on to number 3 on my list. And boys, I almost put this guy number 1 or number 2. I was like really tossing up this top 3. You could really put them in any order you want, and I really won't be mad. You'll have people that would be raging like it's blasphemous to put any of these guys number 1, but I think any order of these top 3 would be fair. Let's go number 3, Sean O'Malley. I think Sean O'Malley, right now I sound like Sean O'Malley. I've got a blocked nose. Like, I don't even have to pinch my nose. I can just be like, dude, imagine being a hater, dude. That would suck so bad, you guys. Dude, me and Schmitty, dude. Listen, all Schmitty jokes aside, this guy turned Petr Yan into a fucking wrestler. This guy had people defending Petr Yan talking about, well, actually, the control time, right? His only loss in his MMA career as a pro was a fluke against Cheeto the Fluky Flukes Tavera. He avenged that loss via a striking masterclass 50-45 beatdown, destroyed Cheeto Vera, turned him into a fucking punching bag. Nobody else has done that to Cheeto, okay? KO'd Aljo, walked him into a perfect knockout. And, you know, people consider Aljo to be a grappler, but that's still an impressive showcase of him being a phenomenal striker. The only reason I won't have O'Malley above the other 2 guys on this list, Islam and Alex Pereira, is because, you know, the competition level that he's faced and that he's beat is not the same as those guys. But based on eye test, I think he's a more well-rounded, better striker than Ilia. I think he's better than everybody down below him in the list in terms of his pure striking ability. He's knocking people dead with punches. You know, he's timing people into shots. He's elusive, very hard to hit. You don't see Sean O'Malley getting rocked. You don't see Sean O'Malley getting dropped. You've seen that from every other person below him on the list. That's why I believe Sean O'Malley is top 3 strikers in the UFC right now, dude. Let's move on to number 2 on my list, and that's going to reveal number 1. But, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is, brother. You know, it is what it is, dude. Let's go Bilal Muhammad. I'm just kidding. Islam Makhachev's number 2 on my list, bro. Islam Makhachev is borderline right there as the best striker in the UFC. But I don't think he's better than Pereira. But fuck, he's close, bro, because the competition that he's fighting is probably higher skill level than Pereira. And knocking out Volkanovski is one thing, right? Set him up with that head kick perfectly. That demonstrates a level of fighting IQ that, you know, proves how good Islam is as a striker. But even in their first fight, I was saying this when that fight happened. People called me fucking great. And I hate doing this, but you know what? Fuck it, dude. In that first fight, I was saying immediately after, go watch my old videos after 284. I was saying Islam outstruck Volkanovski, dude. He was beating him with jabs. He was landing head kicks. He dropped Volkanovski. This was prime Volk. This wasn't short notice. This was home turf for Volk, and Islam outstruck him. I think Islam Makhachev outstriking Volk, outstriking Oliveira, dropping him easily, avoiding any danger, any shots from Oliveira. Like, I don't think Oliveira landed a clean fucking strike on Islam standing up. And outstriking Poirier. Outstriking Poirier. It's weird, bro. I was talking to my friend about this the other day. Shout out to my boy. He just won his fight. But yo, I was talking to him about this, and he was like, it's weird because it was a good performance from Makhachev. Like, he clearly outstruck Poirier, outboxed him, rocked him in round 1, was piecing him up throughout the whole fight. But at the same time, it was like a tough fight for him. That's how good Islam is. He was definitely gonna win that fight, in my opinion, at least. He was up like 3-1, right? But the fact that Poirier was managing to like land any strikes on him and cut him was like, holy fuck, this is Islam's toughest fight yet. That's how good Islam is. And I think him outboxing Poirier, outboxing Volk, outboxing Oliveira, he is the second best striker in the UFC, if not the best. But I got Alex at number 1. I just think, first of all, my logic on this before I glaze Pereira is, like I said before, if we take a pound for pound element to this and we remove weight classes and we say Islam Makhachev versus Alex Pereira, how does it go down? I think Islam would grapple instead of trying to strike with. That's my honest opinion. I think Islam would not outstrike Alex Pereira if they were the same size. I think he would more than likely go to his wrestling, try and win that fight. So that makes me think, and I think a lot of you guys would agree with me, Alex Pereira is the best striker in the UFC. You physically cannot strike with him, bro. Izzy got a KO over him. He was losing that fight. I know he was like walking him into it. Calm the fuck down. Don't make a Reddit post about it. But you know, still, dude, hurting him with the calf kicks. Outstruck Jan Blachowicz as well. That's a great win. You know, timing these perfect KOs on Yuri and Jamal Hill, who are champions of the UFC. You know, KOing Sean Strickland. I know that a lot of that is on Sean Strickland's performance, but still, dude, the fact that he's doing this to everybody, at what point is it not, damn, these guys are all so stupid. Damn, these guys all suck. Pereira's just that fucking good, bro. Like, we've seen people take him down and he gets back up and KOs you, bro. He literally, like you are not going to survive striking with him very long unless you manage to KO him. Alex Pereira is the best striker in the UFC, in my opinion, because I think if you put him in a same size fight against anybody down below him, I think he KOs them. If they strike, he KOs them. So, yeah, Alex Pereira, based on his credentials as well, I mean, glory fucking double champ, you know, that's got to be worth something. I think Alex Pereira is the best striker in the UFC. Not a hot take, but this is my top 10, the real top 10. Okay, dude. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel to support my Hamzat Chimaev recovery from this illness, bro. It's whooping my ass right now. And yeah, man, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at BedtimeMMA. And I will see you guys in the next video, man. Goodbye.